Okay, you go down there. Dive into the tea. You are now live. Right. Give it no matter the stream. The fire in your soul. Broken heart. Bananas in the oven. Did you know if you mash 2 ripe bananas? Almost ready. Getting the ball rolling. Hey, Dr. Corey, how you doing today? That one's ready to go. And this one, come on. And there we go. All right. Let's get the ball rolling. Cha-cha. Cha-cha? John, Enza, Stiranov. What's going on, Enza? New York Chulo, Big Dog, Wrangler, Richie, not Rich, Asa, M. Devlin, Miss Chris Kent, Wrangler, Jason, Captain Corvette, back again, I see, Ernie, Paul Polia, okay. Dad, what's happening? Dad, I tried giving you a call a couple of days ago. You didn't answer the phone. Ernie J. Hello from Cali. How you doing? Eric Wrangler. Doug, what's happening, Mr. Doug? How's it going? All right. So, Ernie J. Wrangler, got it. Redneck guy. Time to pick up some TSMC. Tractor Supply. Gotta love Tractor Supply. Should I buy SPY puts? Interesting question. Oh, Jay Rothschild, how are you this evening? Mr. Green's in the house. Richie, thank you for that. All right, we're just about ready. Cam, just listening tonight. I'm on the road. I'm gonna see what I can do there, Mr. Cam. Nobody has written me a song before. Nada, how you doing? Well, that's a terrible screenshot. That's not some disguise with James and the Stone. We're sorry your live video ended. Checking connection. All right, let's get the ball rolling and video all the way over to there. There we go. And here we go. All right, well, that being said, let's get the ball rolling. If that's okay with you guys. Randy, how you doing? Oscar's house, how's it going? I don't see a name with that one. Should I buy SPY puts? Now, I'm not a big fan of SPY. It's because the numbers just don't work for me. Dat Bondsman, what's happening up? Dat Bondsman, what's going on? That didn't work. All right, and there we go. All right, yo, and Dat Bondsman, gotta love it. Oscar's house. All right, this is just not working. What's going on here? Let's reboot that one. Share as a reel. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, done. Let's go back to here. Let's go back to there. Let's go back to there. Add a title, and there we go. Done and done. Okay, that being said, Surface River 31, how's it going? All right. So, good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stock, weekly cash flow, show you exactly what I'm doing so that you, maybe, if it makes sense, can do the same thing. Wrangler, Bank of America has very good to you lately. Let's take a look at it. We'll take a look at Bank of America. I like Bank of America. I actually have some. Believe it or not, I do. All right. Bank of America, first on the list, BAC. You would think it would be BOA, Bank of America, but no, BAC. All right. I always do the same thing over and over and over again, always the same. Where's the high? Where's the low? Where is it? Where was it a year ago? Where is it now? And what is the motion? Okay, so what's happening with Bank of America? That being said, Surface River, thank you for that. Let's zoom in, take a look at the last 3 months or the last 90 days. Same thing. Here's the high, here's the low. Where was it? Where is it? Down, up, down, up, down. Okay, it's actually coming down now, so not that appealing. Now, like I said, I do have some Bank of America. Jay Moore, I see you there. Guerrera Metal, how you doing? So I do have it, but as you can see, the past couple of days it's dropping a little bit. Not the greatest time to jump in, but do you have it? And if so, would you keep it? I got a rule number one: never buy anything unless you plan on buying it and holding it long term. Cause and Astra, I see you there, dude. How are you doing today? Nice to see you there, Cause. Looks pretty high yet. How can you say that looks pretty high? Dude, it just dropped. Now it's at the bottom. So, not quite sure which one you're talking about, but okay. Gershwin Rockman. Gershwin Rock? Okay. Gershwin Rockman. Let's take a look. AVGO. AVGO. That Broadcom? Yes, it is. Here we go. Here's the top, the bottom. Where was it? Where is it? Look, it's up, down. Simple. Why complicate things if you don't have to? The top is here, okay, 420. The bottom is here, 140. It went from 140 to 420. That's a nice jump. If you don't get that, hold on. Len, should I do covered calls even if it's under my average cost? Len, we're going to get that in a little bit because somebody asked me last night, what do you do if the stock drops? Well, I said last night that I get 5 positions that are down, total of 22%. Yep, you heard me right. I got 5 positions that are down about 22%. So I'm going to show you exactly what I did with my position so you can say, all right, well, he's been doing this for 30 years. He must know something. Not that I'm telling you what to do. I'm just showing you possibilities. Who do we have down here? Dev, what's happening? Nice to see you there, Mr. Dev. Gaming, 1, 2, 3. Can you look at Abbott Labs? We'll look at that in a minute. Okay, so we're looking at AVGO. No, top was here. Now she's dropping. Why would I want to take a look at it? Well, if you like AVGO, what's going to happen? It's going to drop until it's done. And what happens when it's finally done? It will eventually turn around and go back up again because that's what stocks do. Okay, I'm having an issue with Instagram. Cameron, how you doing, Cameron? Nice to see you. Okay, having big issues with that one over there. We're going to take a look at Nike in a minute. AVGO, if you like it, keep your eye on it because it's going to find a bottom sooner or later and then turn around. So keep your eye if you like it, of course. Uh-oh, we got somebody over here. Somebody over here making noise. Who could it be? Who could it be? Elvin, you got to remember to mute yourself. Doug Scott, you got to remember to mute yourself. Now, if you got a question, just unmute it and just yak away or speak up, whichever you prefer. Okay, Mr. Riley, how you doing? Len, we're going to take a look at that in a little bit. Best dressed T-pop. Will tech bounce? You got to give me a ticker symbol because tech is a big, huge category of a whole bunch of different companies. Okay. Micron. Yep, we'll take a look at Micron in a second. Official J-Lens. Got a newbie alert. The only reason I have a newbie alert because nobody asked me about SoFi because SoFi does not have any dividends And NVIDIA is absolutely 100% horrible in my humble opinion. Well, I'm going to take a look at that in a second. Best dressed. Okay, sit tight. Captain K. Oh, no way. Captain Caveman. I remember that. I do. That short dude, he was pretty cool. Anyway, so NVIDIA, we'll take a look at in a little bit. You're not going to like what I have to say about it. Nobody ever does. Anybody who likes NVIDIA never likes what I have to say about it because they neglect to take a look at the fact. 101st this week. I have no idea what 101st this week means, Daryl. Okay? All right. So let's pause for a second. So APGO, like I said, wait for the bottom. If you really like it, you're going to find a bottom. I'll turn around, go back up again if that's what you like. Okay, next on the list, Nike. Somebody who wants to look at Nike? And Castro. Okay, and Castro wants to take a look at Nike. Same thing. Top's here. Here's the bottom. Looking for a new bottom of the year. Okay, so 30 days ago, we're at 69. Now we're at 51. Searching and searching and searching. Oh, where has my bottom gone? Oh, where could it be? It'll show up. Don't worry about it. Stocks do two things and only two things. They go up and then they go down. That's it. Once it goes down, it's going to keep going down until it's done. Isn't that so simple? It goes down until it's done. Who knows when it's done? Well, we'll soon find out because the bottom will show up. She'll turn around and go back up again. That's what happens. They go down, they go up. They go down, they go up. Okay, hold on tight. We're going to take a look at those. Len, we're going to take a look at that in a second. Okay, best dressed T-Pop wants to take a look at Micron. Okay, let's take a look at it. We'll take a look at Abbott Labs and Intel in a little bit. But first one, Micron, MU. Same thing. Here's your top. Here's your bottom. Okay, here's where it was. Shoots up, pulls back. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't really mean a whole heck of a lot of anything other than here's where we were 30 days ago. Shoot up to 470. That's the high. And now we're down here. Profit taking. 470 to 320. That's a nice drop. It's going to keep going down until it's done. That's it. SoFi. No, I don't like SoFi because I don't have any dividends. See, the name of the show is Dividend Stock Talk, or the subtitle, Dividend Investing for Weekly Cash Flow. Well, if it has no dividends, how am I supposed to know when does it move? Because I used a dividend to tell me when the stocks move predictably. Because dividend stocks have a tendency to do the same thing over and over and over again. Green Dog. Green Dog says, I throw everything into BTI. Am I goated investor or a doomed loser? Ooh, I'm going to address that in a few minutes. Right now, I got a few other to take care of first. All right. You may or may not like what I have to say. But then again, take a step back and then ask yourself, where is this guy coming from? Because I'm not coming from the same viewpoint as you are. I'm 62. I'm retired. I have enough money that 1% every week satisfies my bills. So I don't really need to worry too much when things drop or things go out of whack. I don't have to worry about it. I just joined the stream. What are you teaching right now? I just joined. Jonas, what we're doing here is investing simply, safely, predictably, consistently, looking for a 1% return. I know it sounds lame. 1% return every single week. Yep, you got it right. Your addition's pretty good. Yeah, it is. It's over 50% a year. Well, it takes 5 to 10 minutes every day. Terribly sorry if you can't squeeze 5 or 10 minutes out of your day, but it is what it is. And you're going to get used to saying that because I'm in a generation, we call us Generation X. We really don't care about your opinion because it is what it is. If you're looking for a sunset and you're heading east, you got a problem. Okay? Sun rises in the east, it sets in the west. There are certain things that are just factual. Okay? Clouds are up in the sky, the dirt is dirty, ice is cold, certain things. Okay? So sit tight. We're going to get that in a minute. So Micron, yeah, if you like it, wait, the bottom will show up. And then if you like it, make sure all the numbers work. It is what it is. Yes, Gen Xer. I love it, brother. Yep, you know exactly. That's our motto. We got a motto, and we use it when we hear some AC/DC. No, 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 no. Yeah, it is what it is. You don't like it? Hey, it is what it is. Okay, Micron, no. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, AMD. Now, not 100% sure about this one. Look what it's doing. But let's give it the benefit of the doubt. You ready? Here we go. Here's the high, 260. The bottom, 80. Last year, we're at 100. Okay, from 100, we dropped to 80, shoot up to 260, drop back down, back up, back down. Now we seem to be going nowhere. Let's zoom into that and see what it looks like. Whoops, I don't like when I do that, but it happens. All right, here we go. Last 30 days. No real rhyme or reason. Okay, here's the top, here's the bottom, here's where it was, here's where it is. Down, up, down. Not this week. Sorry. Same thing. Got to wait for that bottom to show up. Okay, official J Lens. Now, J Lens, I normally don't do SoFi because SoFi doesn't have any dividends. And they're really not profitable. If they're not profitable, well, I don't know. Seriously. Because I like 2 decades of profitability. And there's no way am I going to go and take a look at 20 years worth of quarterly reports for SoFi. They don't have any dividends. And there's too many other good quality companies that I would do instead. So, up, down. It's dropping like a rock. So why would I want to jump into this thing? Okay? If you like it, wait for the bottom to show up. Okay? You're going to keep going down. Now, it might go lower tomorrow. It might go even lower on Wednesday. You just don't know. Jonas. You already said hi, Jonas. Okay. AMD, we did that one. 4 OT this week. Okay, double barrel Daryl, I have no idea what that means. And Terry, TJ Maxx, you got to give me the ticker symbol because I don't think TJ Maxx is the ticker symbol. It's not. TJ Maxx is not a ticker symbol. All right, so what do we have over here? Of course, you start lagging when you mention NVIDIA. We're going to get to that in a second. Hold on. Bank of America, we did that one. Good to see you. Thank you there. Surface receiver. Okay. All right. Len. All right. We did that one. Will Tex Bounce. We did that one. Micron. We did. AMD. We did. Okay. So best dressed T-Pop wants to take a look at NVIDIA. Okay. NVDA. Here we go. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Down, up, sideways, down. Okay. So NVIDIA is at $165 a share. Let's go take a look at a financial website to see just how good NVIDIA isn't. Because it isn't. Hold on. We're going to go to Yahoo Finance. Okay. And here's the numbers for NVIDIA. First thing I want to see, okay, is the revenue per share. What am I looking at? Revenue growth, revenue per share. Okay, so NVIDIA is at $169 per share. $169. But look at the revenue. How much money do they have coming in? They have $8. $8.86 per share coming in as revenue. Well, I don't know about you guys, but that sucks, in my humble opinion. Okay, hold on. It actually gets worse. I'm going to slide down a little bit lower, and now we're going to come to what is called the book value per share, and that is $6. So think of it this way, okay? If you got a phone call and whatever happened at the other end of that phone call, you talk to your spouse, your husband, your wife, your significant other, whatever, we got to sell off everything and we got to go. If NVIDIA did that, guess what you'd be getting? $6.47 a share. So you're paying $169 for a company that's only worth $6.47. The dividend is 1 penny. The yield, okay, here's the dividend right there, 0.04. That's 1 penny per quarter. The yield right there, okay, I'm going to actually write it in the big letters so you can see what the yield is, because you're not going to believe me. 2. The yield is 2. No, it ain't. 0.02. That's the yield. 0.02. I'm showing you how I consistently get 1% every single week. But NVIDIA gets 0.02 for the year. Explain to me, seriously, explain to me why you think 0.02 and a 1 penny dividend is a good investment. I'll wait. I'll wait all night long. As a matter of fact, I'll wait all year long for you to explain. Anybody in their right mind, explain to me why a $169 stock that pays 4 cents dividend and it has a 0.02% yield. You can put your money into a CD or even a savings account at a bank and get a better return than NVIDIA. I'm just terribly sorry. The numbers are horrible. So let's go back a little bit. Uh-oh. Another newbie alert. SQQQ. What, are you kidding me? Don't you guys do any research at all? Seriously. Blake, serious question. Do you do any research before you buy anything? It's a serious question. So let's take a look at the SQQQ. SQQQ. Here we go. $89 a share. SQQQ. Okay, at least this one has a 9% yield. 9. Doesn't have any dividends. So wait a second. Hold on. This is a dividend investing channel. Why are we looking at the SQQQ if it doesn't have any dividends? Or wait a second, do they? Doesn't say anything. Dividends only. Oh, it does have dividends. Okay. So let's check out, Blake. Now, when I'm saying I'm looking for a profitable company, okay, I'm looking for 2 decades. That's 20 years of profits. SQQQ goes back to 2017. That's 9 years. 9 years. Well, let's see if it's profitable or not. Are you ready? The first dividend is 75. That's a big dividend, 75. Okay, first dividend, 75. 87. That's nice. 102. 167. Oh, this is looking good. 257. That's even better. So hold on. I got a minor problem. So we are into 2018. Okay. December 26th, day after Christmas, 2018, he had a $257 dividend. That's freaking huge. Hold on. Hey, financial comedian, how you doing, brother? So I'm getting 2018, I'm getting 257 dividend. That's a big ass dividend. But hold on. The very next one is 72 bucks. So you need to explain to me, or somebody needs to explain to me, if I'm getting a dividend of $257 per share, I don't know how the hell they're going to do that. And then the very next dividend, I'm getting 72. What the hell's going on there? 257, and then they cut the dividend down to 72. Explain. Hey, financial comedian, can you explain it to me? SQQQ. All right, hold on. SQQQ. The dividend, December 2018, is 257. The very next dividend is 72 bucks. Hold on. It gets worse. Goes 72 to 152. Okay, 115, it drops. 67 drops even more. 40 drops even more. And look at this. This is a kick in the nuts. 377. Hold on. Okay, so December 2018, $257 for the dividend. Okay, a couple of years later, we are down to 2 years later, no, 4 years later. Okay, 2018, 19, 20, 2022. So December 2022, we're down to $3.77. So explain to me why you think, Blake, going from $257 per share, dropping down to $3.77 per share. How can you possibly say that that's a good investment? Seriously. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love $257 per share as a dividend. That's awesome. But when you go from $257 down to $3, yeah, that just doesn't work for me. So I'm going to say no to the Qs. Sorry, dude. I can't even believe somebody would invest in that damn thing. But what the hell do I know? I'm a numbers guy. Either the numbers work or they don't. Either the company is increasing their profits or they're not. Okay, the very first dividend, 75 bucks. Now we are currently at $1.50. Explain how the very first dividend, $75, and now 9 years later, we're at $1.50. That makes no sense whatsoever. Why the hell would you put, what the hell were you thinking? Seriously, what the hell are you thinking? Did you even read the numbers before you put your money into it? Tommy, is $40 a week enough to start getting into stocks? Absolutely, Tommy. Now, Tommy, everybody's going to start somewhere. Okay, I started 30 years ago with $12,500. I refinanced my house. I got a second mortgage. Yep, I spent a couple of weeks on the couch. I did. But you know what? It was a $3,300 couch. It was very comfortable. It was. Anyway, yeah, some of you guys know exactly what I mean. Yeah, I started investing and I spent most of my time on the couch at first. Wife was not happy. Or should I say, my now current ex-wife wasn't very happy. Okay, Ciso, TJX. You get the max for the minimum. A TJ Maxx. Everybody loves TJ Maxx. All right, let's do this. TJX. TJX. Interesting. Okay. Here's the top, the bottom. Where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, what's going on there? The high's there. We drop back up. Okay. I need to zoom into that a little bit closer. Get a better view. Better view. Okay, we shot up, we dropped down. Shot up, dropped down. Now it looks like she's going to move again. But to be safe, I'd like to wait a little bit longer because she went up, pulled back, up, pulled back. It's exactly what they do. They go up, down, up, down. So right here, we got 1 day up. So you might, if you like it, keep your eye on it. 155s are going for 164. That's over 1%. Exactly what I'm looking for. Over 1% every week. Dev, hello. Gaming. How are you? What are we looking at? Looking at Abbott Labs. I can look at it. ABT. Abbott Labs. ABT. No. That was quick, wasn't it? Here's the top. Here's the bottom. Well, was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down. No. Sorry. No, don't get me wrong. I love Abbott Labs. I really do. But as you can see, the last 30 days, we're just dropping. Again, looking for that bottom. And we're going to find a lot of companies looking for the bottom. So how do you trade that type of information? What do you do with it? Okay. Do you like Abbott Labs? Okay. Is it this scenario or this trading strategy ideal for this company? Probably not yet. Okay. What else do we have over here? Ciso, thank you for that. Tommy, thank you. Okay. Clip Chaser Ant. Clip Chaser Ant. Okay, I'm thinking that's an inside joke because it makes no sense to me whatsoever, but he wants to take a look at Ford. Now, we looked at Ford earlier, and it's going to be the exact same thing as the other ones. Up, down. Okay, she's just dropping like a rock. So, again, the company's over 100 years old. I really don't know, Blake, really? Blake, we just looked at TQQQ, and it was a no. You weren't, not even 4 minutes ago were we looking at TQQ. No. Okay, the Q's are no. All right, so anyway, here's the top 14, drop down to 11. Not quite, because, again, we're looking for that bottom for it to turn around and go back up again. Alexa, what's happening? Jay Joofs. Okay.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Ryland Barton. Lines at
Alexa,
airport
off. Okay, we really got to change your name, dude. You don't think it will hurt because of war? Okay, Phil, you have to be more specific. Okay, number one, Phil, if you didn't realize this, and same for a lot of you, if you didn't realize, hold on, let me turn this camera back on. All right, Mr. Phil, you do realize that over the last 100 years, we've seen World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, all the crap in the Gulf, Afghanistan, Desert Storm, blah, 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 all that stuff. Okay, what else have we seen? Well, we've seen 14 market crashes in the last 100 years. 14 of them. Is there another one coming? Of course, there's always another one coming. Okay, what else did we see? We see a stock market crash in 29. We see a stock market crash in 78. We see a stock market crash in 87. We see a stock market crash in 2000. We see a crash in 2008. We see a crash in 2021. We see a crash in 2024. Those are just the ones I know off the top of my head. Now, were there more between? Yeah, there's a whole bunch. But here's the thing. It goes up, it goes down. It goes up, it goes down. But overall, in the last 100 years, the stock market has averaged, over the last 100 years, 8 to 10% every year. That's the average, 8 to 10% every year. Even the pullbacks. Pulls back, it jumps up. Pulls back, goes jump up. It's just the way the game is played. Okay? So my rules are always going to be the same. Always pick a good company that you like and you don't mind holding through the turmoil. There are companies on the stock market that are over 100 years old. They've seen all this crap before. Yes, and there were wars back then. Okay? There's literally hundreds of companies that have seen dozens of wars over the crap. 2019 due to Covington. Okay, Mr. Green. SQQ dropped in 2019 due to Covington. Okay, fine. But I want you to listen to this very closely because I'm not quite sure you understand where I'm coming from. Okay? I'm 62. I'm retired. There's over 10,934 different companies available in the stock market to jump into. If SQQQ is only 9 years old and it's not consistently profitable, why would I care? Seriously, it's a serious question. There are companies that have been consistently profitable for over 5 decades. There are even some that are profitable over 7 decades. Now, 7 decades is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years of consistently higher, 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 higher dividends every single year. So why would I care about SQQQ? The very first dividend was 25 bucks. Well, the last dividend was less than 5. Why should I be no, hell no. The numbers just don't match. I'm sorry. There's so many different trading strategies out there. There really are. Okay, I like simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way for me to lose. That's what I like. And I'm going to say this slower because some people just don't grasp it. Freaking thing. I'm going to say it slower because some people just don't grasp it. I am perfectly okay with 1% a week. Okay? So SQQQ, no matter how much you like it, I don't give a flying dead rat's carcass. I really don't. Because it's only 9 years old, number one, and it's not consistently profitable. Who's buying that kind of stock? Tommy, how you doing? So Tommy, every single night, I have 9 different channels. Okay, so I am live streaming on 9 different channels. So I see a whole bunch of different stocks that people want me to take a look at. And some of them, to me, just don't make sense. JEPQ, hell no. All right, let's take a look at JEPQ. Just for the fun of it. JEPQ. All right. There it is. JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF, JEPQ. So let's see how consistently profitable this one is. Richard, according to Google, SQQQ doesn't really pay a dividend. It pays based on leveraged capital income. Okay. I'm going to address that in 1 second, Richard. First, let's take a look at JEPQ. You ready? The very first dividend for JEPQ was June 2022. Okay, now we all know June 2022 to today is only 4 years. Okay, registered nurse 6,400. JEPQ is only 4 years old. The very first dividend, 37. So let's go one dividend at a time. If it's consistently profitable, it should increase higher, 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 consistently. Okay, and after I'm done, I will show you one that is consistently profitable. Okay, you ready? Okay. Very first dividend, 37. Second dividend, lower. Higher, higher, lower. Higher, lower, higher, lower, lower, higher, higher, lower, higher. Did you see that? Let me do it again. Hold on. Let's do it this way. All right. Now, 37. Lower, higher, higher, lower, higher, lower, higher, lower, lower, higher, higher, lower, higher. Now, explain to me why you think that this thing goes down more than it goes up. Why would I want to put my money into that? It's a serious question. Okay, why is it that some people just don't look at the factual numbers? These aren't my numbers. This is Yahoo Finance. You can use whatever financial site you want to get your detailed information from. But what are the profits that the corporations give back to the investors? Those are the dividends. That is our share of the profits. As an investor, if I buy a stock that pays a dividend, I am entitled to a portion of the profits. Well, the portion of the profits are down more than they're up. So why would I? JEPQ is only 4 years old. I say I want 2 decades. Now, some of you may or may not realize it. Okay, I understand. The stock market, first dividend stock was issued in 1602. That's before the United States was even born. Yeah, 1602, the very first stock market, over 400 years. So let's check something for a second. By the way, I don't like JEPQ. It's not consistently profitable. And for you, Richard Scanlon. Okay, Rich, hold on a second. SQQQ. All right, Richard, I understand what Google is saying. I understand completely, totally. I do, really. But what does it say right here? Dividends. The dividends. Here it is. The dividends in which SQQ paid out. Here they are. The very first dividend, $75, 87, 102, 167, 257, 72. So it's going down. 152, 115, 67, 40. You can call it whatever you want. But if a company or SQQQ pays a dividend, it's right there. And the very first one, $75. The very last one, $1.50. So I appreciate your input. Really, I do, Richard. Thank you very much. You do contribute a lot, and I appreciate it. I really do. But if it says a dividend and that gets smaller and smaller and smaller, I have no desire whatsoever. It's as easy as that. Okay? Now, why isn't that working? Whatever. Okay. So from that, remember I said I was going to show you one that is consistently profitable? Hold on. Check this out. All righty. Check this out. Dover Corporation, DOV. Okay. Now, if you know, hold on, let's go here. Maximum. Whoa, check that one out. Goes all the way back to 1980. This company here, DOV, are you ready? 7. Yep, I said it. 7 decades of consistent profits. Do you invest in ETF dividend like MSTY? Hell no. Todd, I look at the numbers. Hold on. I'm going to take a look at MSTY in a second. I'm going to show you the exact same thing. It's not consistently profitable. Hold tight. So, are you ready? Richard, check this out. Okay, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9. 2.3, 2.8, 2.84, 3.01, 3.3, 3.5, 3.6, 3.8, 4.3. This thing goes up every single year for 7 decades. So, yeah, there are plenty of companies that are consistently profitable. SQQQ, not one of them. JEPQ, not one of them. MSTY, not one of them. Let's take a look at MSTY. MSTY. Okay, here we go. Okay, Yield Max MSTY. There you go. $20 a share. Okay, very first dividend, April 2024. Who came up with Misty? Right there, Todd. Very first dividend, April 2024. That's 2 years ago. You're putting your money into a 2-year-old company. Hold on, look at the numbers. Very first dividend, $20. The very first dividend, $20. Then it drops to 12, 15, 11, 9, 20, 22, 15, 11, 10, 6. Hold on, gets worse. 6, 11, 7, 6, 5, 5, 5, 4, 1. 96, 84, 81, 74, 67, 58, 38. This thing's dropping every single month. Why the hell? Did you even read the numbers? Look, we're at 43 cents now. The very first dividend was 20 bucks. What was it? Yeah. 20 bucks. 20. Now we're down to 43 cents. Todd, did you even look at the numbers before you put your money in there? It went from $20 to 43. That's your share of the profits. Went from $20 to 43 cents. Not $43, 43 cents. Why the hell would you put your money into that? Doesn't make any sense. Akala, D, isn't that Dominion? Dominion, yeah. Okay, Dominion's going to be a no. Sorry, Akala, I don't do monthlies. I'm very particular what I'm doing. Now, I've been doing this for about 30 years. Granted, my first 5 or 10 years weren't as good as my last 15 to 20 because I was on my own. It wasn't until 2008 when my 9-year-old, 9 years old, she said, Daddy, can you teach me? So my 9-year-old daughter wants to learn to invest in the stock market, but most adults don't get it. Okay, I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% every week. It's not that difficult. Now, you guys give me something good to look at. I'll take a look at it. I'll give you my honest opinion. But it's always best to remember where I'm coming from. I'm retired. I'm not looking to hit a home run. I'm looking just to go around the bases at a nice leisurely walk. 1% every week. I'm okay with that. Okay, what else we got? Best Buy. Isn't that BBY? And there it is. Best Buy. Here's the high, 84. Here's the bottom, 54. She drops, shoots up, drops again, and bounces right there. So we're bouncing off that bottom right there. Okay, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, 63.91. The 64 is going for 115. Let's take a look. Best Buy just might be the first one up on our list. Okay, we're going to change it to covered calls because it's simple, it's safe, it's predictable. 64, there it is. One contract. Here's what it should sound like. Buy one covered call, BBY, which is Best Buy, to April 26th, which is this coming Thursday. It's only 3 days away. The $64 call option. Okay. Currently, the stock is at $63.91. Okay, so my profit's going to be 141. My investment is going to be 6,200. So what kind of numbers does that look like? Well, let's find out. How to find any bullish companies right now? Duke, I'm going to disagree with you. There's plenty of them out there. Okay, let's get the calculator out. Calculator. Here we go. Now we're going to take the profit, 141, to find out the rate of return. You always take the profit, max profit, 141. And then we're going to divide it by the investment. The investment is 6,259. Well, anytime you make any type of investment, you got to put some skin in the game. You got to put some money on the line. You're saying, all right, I believe in this one. Here's my money. Let's place the bet. All right. Well, 141 is my profit. 6,200 is the investment. What's the rate of return? Now, you got to remember here, the rate of return is a little bit different because I'm not looking for annual rate of return. I'm looking for a return on 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. I like to buy on a Monday and be out on a Friday. Well, in this case, I like to buy on a Monday and be out on a Thursday because Thursday is the last day of the week for us this week. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So 141 is the profit. Let's divide it by the investment, 62.59. It gives me a total of 2.2%. So here's an interesting question. Okay. Number one, do you like Best Buy? Number two, does 2.2% for 1 week sound like a good investment or a good return? Then that's a question that only you can answer. Because for me, I'm perfectly happy with 1% every week. Because, yeah, it does come to over 50% by the end of the year. All right, so let's do this. And let's do this. TUE Tuesday. And there we go. Look at that. Best Buy. Best Buy to April, the $64 call option. Okay, now profit 141, the investment 62 for a 2.2. So it's 2.2 for 1 week. Now we all know elementary school math, 1% every week is over 50% by the end of the year. So yeah, 2% a week, well, that's got to be at least over 100% by the end of the year. All right, well, let's find out. First one of the day, 2.2. Gotta love it. 2.2. Next. Ooh, Gen X wants to take a look at Colgate-Palmolive. Back here, and CL. Now, I take a look at the chart. Very first thing I want to see takes me about 2 to 3 seconds. You ready? My low is down, up, down, up. Simple enough, right? Well, Colgate-Palmolive has been in business for over 100 years. And look at this. Here's the top, drops, pulls back up again. So let's zoom into that, see if it's a better look. Because someone told me you can't find any good stocks. Well, yeah, here's one right here. Top 99, drops to 84. Now she's going back up, 85 to 86. Okay, let's find out. Does it work? 86. I don't know. It might not. Let's find out. Covered call. Let's do the 86s right there. One contract. Here's the numbers, the calculator. One covered call, Colgate-Palmolive, to April 26th. That's this coming Thursday. And the $86 call option. Well, 119 is the profit, 8,400 is the investment. What is the rate of return? Maybe because QQQ is a company, is not a company but an ETF. Yeah, Richard, I know that. I'm well aware that it's an electronic traded fund. Everybody likes to say exchange traded funds, but if you take a good look at the exchange, it's all computers. You can call it whatever you want. Okay? I'll tell you one thing, you unplug it, it's not an exchange anymore. It's run for electricity. It's an electronically traded fund. You're giving your money to a computer. And every month, that computer spits out a dividend. So if the dividend that the Qs kick out every month decreases more than it increases, why would I want to buy it? It's a simple question. Roy, can you give me examples of a profitable dividend? We just did one. We're about to do another one in a second. Okay. Mario, we'll take a look at advanced micro devices in a minute. Okay, ADM. Wait a minute, that's Archer Daniel Midland. Ooh, that's a good company, ADM. See, I get ADM and AMD mixed up once in a while. But ADM is Archer Daniel Midland and AMD is Advanced Micro Devices. So, I like Archer Daniel Midland. It is a dividend king with 5 decades of increased profits. The Qs do not have 5 decades of increased profits, but ADM does. So, just depends on what do you like. Terry, we're going to take a look at Macy's and Kohl's in a minute. Right now, we are still looking at Colgate Palmolive. Profit 119, the investment 8,400. What does that look like? 119 divided 84, 81 comes to a grand total of 1.4. Now, I'm okay with 1.4, and I like Colgate Palmolive. They are a dividend king, which means they've got 5 decades of increased profits. The Qs do not. Okay, I would buy Colgate over the Qs any day. I'm going to save this one. I like 1.3. 1.3 works for me. All right, let's find out. This should be number 2 for the night, Colgate Palmolive. Come on. There it is. Here we go. Colgate Palmolive. 2 April. That's this coming Thursday. The $86 call option. 119 is the profit. 8,400 is the investment. So here's the thing. If I buy it at the opening tomorrow morning, hypothetically, if it's at whatever it's at, 85.73, I will never ever sell it for less than 85.73. That's just me. I refuse to take a loss. Last year, I think I took 2. The year before, I took 4. This year, 0. We're coming into the last week of March. I've taken 0 losses so far this year. I'm okay with that. But then again, I'm only looking to gain 1%. So I'm kind of okay with it. All right. 1.4. 1.4. Gotta love it. Next, what do we got? Ooh, Macy's. All right, I love Macy's. One of my favorite companies. Ooh, and I did read. Now, nowadays, it's very challenging to believe anything on the internet, in my humble opinion. Because you hear stories saying one thing on a certain subject, and then you hear stories on the exact same subject to the opposite side. So who do you listen to, and why are they giving us different opinions? Okay, why is this station saying it's good, and why is this situation saying it's bad? It's either good or it's not. But then again, it depends on how you look at it, I suppose. All right, that's Colgate Palmolive. Next on the list, we're going to take a look at Macy's. Oh, so the story I read on Macy's is Macy's is this is what I read. I don't know if it's true or not, so you have to do your own research. Macy's is thinking about leaving New York. Imagine that. Macy's is going to close like 100 some odd stores in New York and leave New York. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. Let's say, oh, well. Richard Scannion. Yeah, Richard, I get that. You know, and I'm good. See, the funny thing is, Rich, you're arguing with me, but I'm agreeing with you. I know QQQ is not a company, but I also know that QQQ, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, there's one person in charge, and there's one person in charge of every company. It's called the CEO. Now, the CEO or whoever it is that's in charge of the QQQ, they decide who gets paid and when they get paid. And if the Qs kept giving out higher and higher and higher dividends, it would be a total different story. But one dividend's $75, another dividend's $4. So it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. There's no consistency to the Qs whatsoever. And I honestly don't care if it's a company or not. To me, it's 3 little symbols on the screen. QQQ, just like Microsoft, MSFT, IBM, IBM. It's a ticker symbol on the screen. It goes up, it goes down. It has dividends, it has options, and the dividends do not consistently increase. Call it an ETF, call it a pigeon, call it a turkey, call it a bald tire. I don't care what you want to call it. It's not consistently profitable. That's it. Anyway, all right, guys, over here, I appreciate you guys coming and listening and sharing, but you gotta mute yourselves when you get here because whatever you're doing in the background is coming through. Michelle, how you doing? Thank you, Michelle. All right, where were we? Jeff's right there. All right. So thank you for your input, Richard, but still, if it's not increasing its profits, I don't care what it is. Simple. Okay, where were we? Macy's. All right. Here's the top, 25. Here's the bottom at 9. She shoots up, pulls back up, back down. Now, I'm okay if this thing drops because I'm short on this thing at 12. Okay, down, up, down. So it's dropping again. So no, not this week. There was one more. Which one was it? Kohl's. Yep, Mario. I'm going to look at Archer Daniel Middle in a minute. Kohl's. KSS. Now, I have some of both Macy's and Kohl's, and I'm perfectly okay where they are. Here's the high, 25. Here's the bottom at 6. She shoots up, pulls back. We're sitting at 12. Okay. Not a perfect opportunity for jumping in. 20 down to where we are now. Not at the moment, but when she turns around, then fine. But until then, just going to sit back and watch. Okay? Mario, here we go. Archer Daniel Midland. Dividend King Extraordinaire. Now, see, Mario, you've asked nicely. You waited, and guess what you're going to get? No. The reason you're getting a no is I don't do monthlies. April, May, June, September, December, January. I don't do monthlies. You can only do them once a month, and I know. And it's very challenging to get profitable once a month. Sorry. Oscar's house. Thank you, Mario. Sorry about that. JEPI. Hell no. Oh, okay. F Tech wants to go challenge my okay. All right. Let's check this out. Now, F Tech, I told you before. Now, you're new here. I get it. Is this recorded replay? Yes, this is a recording. How can I answer your question? Susie, becoming her. Okay, Susie, I'm saying no to the Qs. I already said no to the Qs earlier. So, FF Tech. Is that right? Oh, Fletch. Fletch wants to question my intelligence. Okay. Now, Fletch, you got to remember, Fletch, I'm coming from a different point of view than you are. So let's take a look at what I'm looking at as opposed to what you're looking at. Okay? So JEPI. JEPI. Okay. Now, here we go. Just to let you know, I'm on the right track. Okay. JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF, JEPI, $55.65. So let's look and see how wonderful this is. Okay, JEPI goes all the way back to July 20th. No, sorry, July 1st, 2020. July 1st, 2020. It makes it 6 years old. Okay? This company is 6 years old. Fletch, you see that? 6 years old. Now, let's look at the dividends. Are they increasing or are they decreasing? All right, Fletch, let's do this. The very first dividend for JEPI, make sure I'm human over here. There we go. You ready? JEPI, first dividend, 49. Okay? 49, right there. First one, 29, lower, higher, lower, higher, lower, higher, lower, higher, 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 lower, higher, lower, higher. Fletch, did you see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times it went up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times it went down. Okay, so let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times it went down, Fletch. Hold on. 2021. So let's go to September 2021. Right there. Okay. Higher, 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 lower. Higher, higher, lower. Higher, higher, lower. Higher, lower. Higher, higher, lower. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now we're at 11 times this thing has gone down. Hold on. Hold on. I'm not done yet. Hold on, Fletch. That brings us up to December 2022. Okay. Lower, lower, higher, lower, 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 higher, higher, lower, higher, higher, lower, lower, higher. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold on, Fletch. What do you think so far? I got a little bit more to go. So that's April 2024. Okay. April 2024. Higher, lower, lower, higher, lower, lower, lower. Whoops. Higher, 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 lower, lower, higher, lower, lower. Okay. Now we're at November 2025. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 more. Holy cow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we're not quite done yet. We got a little bit more to go. November 2025. Right there. Higher, higher, lower, higher. Okay, so one more. Okay, so Fletch. Let's take a look, Mr. Fletch, shall we? JEPI in the 6 years that they've been paying dividends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 30 times. 30. 30 times it went down. And you think that's good? Now you're looking at something totally different than I'm looking at. So for the fun of it, let's pull up Dover. D-O-V. Okay. Dover Corporation, D-O-V, $202. All right, you ready? Let's change this to that because I already know the answer here. Okay, Fletch, are you ready? Let's go all the way back. Now, I'm not going to go all the way back to the beginning because this thing has 7 decades. 7 decades. That's 70 years. JEPQ is 9 years old. 9. Okay? Dover, over 70. So let's just take a look at the last 20 years, shall we? 2006, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 21, 23, 25, 32, 33, 35, 37, 47, 48, 49, 49 and a half, 50, 51, 51 and a half, 52. Every single year, Dover, D-O-V, went higher, 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 higher. JEPQ, 30 times it went down. So I'm not quite sure. You want dividend yield. I don't care about the dividend yield. I care about the consistency of profitability. Okay? I'm trading on a weekly basis. I'm not looking for the yield. I'm looking for the consistency of profitability. How consistently have they increased their profits? Dover, every single year for the past 7 decades. JEPQ, in the last 9 years, 9 times 4 is 36. That can't be right. It cannot have gone down 30 times in 36. No. Anyway, no, JPI is not consistently profitable. It's just a plain out, flat out no. Now, Dova, it has a less yield, but it has more consistency of profitability. We're looking at the different things. Okay? So I appreciate your input, Fletcher. I do. Okay, but you got to remember, where I'm coming from is a different place than where you're coming from. I'm coming from a place where I'm looking for safety, consistency, and profitability and preservation of my capital. I don't have the luxury of being wrong. I'm 62. I have no desire whatsoever to go back into the workforce. Now, don't get me wrong, I could. I get offers almost on a daily basis for me to go back to work. I have no desire. I've done 5 decades. My first job was in 1974 on Old Man Simmons Farm. Okay, kept me busy, kept me out of the house. Things were different back in the 70s. Oh, so I'm kind of curious. User 329160. Sounds like I'm trying to pump and dump the Qs. Oh, hell no. I would buy it with your money. So it's definitely not me. All right, so let's go back to where we were. Okay, ADM, Archer Daniel Midland. It's a monthly optionable stock, which means the options only trade once a month. That's a no for me. Weekly options only. ASML. No idea what that means whatsoever. So Univision, user 3260, he is holding a heavy bag. I have no idea what that means either. ASML. What the hell is that? Weird. ASML. $1,200 a share. I'm going to say no. Okay. Top, bottom, shoots up, pulls back. 1,253 to 1,255 are going for 26. If that's what you're looking for. Now, I don't do stocks over $300 because however much money you think I have, I don't. Okay. There's no way in hell would I pay $1,200 a share. Okay. Because 100 shares is going to be what? $125,000? Yeah, no thanks. ADM is now only monthly options. Yep, I saw that too. Kim, GDX. Is ARE a monthly as well? ARE. It is. Imagine that. April, May, July, October, January. Now, I don't do monthlies because the numbers just don't work in my favor. Now, I'm trading on a daily basis. I want the odds and probabilities in my favor. So I have no problem saying no to stuff that you guys say yes to. Richard wants to take a look at Harley Davidson. Interesting. Here's the top, 31. Here's the bottom at 17. A year ago, we're at 25. Now we're at 19. Down, up, down, up. Okay, what's happening now? Okay, currently, the 1944s, the 1950s are going for 35. That's nice. But here's the issue with Harley Davidson. We got a couple of problems with Harley Davidson. Problem number one, there ain't any cool people left. Now, some of you know what I mean, okay? Who rode a Harley? Okay, Sylvester Stallone rode a Harley. Arnold Schwarzenegger rode the Harley. James Dean, he probably rode the Harley. Steve McQueen. Ooh, Henry Fonda. Okay, so the Gen Xers and the baby boomers, we identify with Harley Davidsons. Okay, not so much with the millennials or the Gen Zs or whatever this new generation is. They have no, maybe Vin Diesel. Now, Vin Diesel's more of a millennial, but does he ride a Harley? I don't know. But, all right, so the other problem with Harley, right here, Look at the premiums. The 1950, which is at the money, is paying 35. That's a nice number. I can get behind that. But 2 strikes out, I'm at 0. So when, it's not an if, it's never an if, it's a when. Stocks do 2 things and only 2 things. They go down, they go up, they go down, they go up, they go down, they go up. That's all they do. It's when. When they go down, what options am I able to sell? Well, 2 strikes, 3 strikes, 4 strikes. That's what I'm looking at. Well, 2 strikes, I'm at 0. 3 strikes, I'm at 0. So as much as I like Harley Davidson, I'm very cautious when I do this one because I want to do it as she's bouncing up to catch that nice premium. Okay. Well, what's happening? Look. Down, up, down, up. Okay. We're at 1944. The 1950 is going for 35. Get all that space to go to hit that 30-day high. Now we're at 17. We jumped up to 19. That's only $2. $2 on a $17 stock is right around 12%. So it might pull back. You never know. I have a question. Is stocks market just a big lie and you need to find the key strategies or insider? Not really. Roy, okay, Dover is a monthly optionable stock and it pays a quarterly dividend. There's a huge difference between the stock, the option, and the dividend. 3 totally different animals. It's kind of like putting a monkey, a giraffe, and a zebra all in the same cage. They're all animals. They're all zoo animals, but they're all different. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, in the stock market, you got stocks, you got options, and then you have dividends. Well, in the zoo, you have monkeys, giraffes, and zebras. Same thing, right? You go to the stock market, stocks, options, dividends. You go to the zoo, monkeys, zebras, and elephants. See what I'm talking about? Okay, so is the stock market a big lie? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. And the reason I say that is yes, the companies are real, and yes, the shares do give you a part ownership in the company. However, the price of the shares rarely have anything to do with the company's day-to-day operations. Okay, so when the stock of Harley Davidson drops from 20 all the way down to 17, did the CEO get on the phone and call all the workers and the mechanics, say, hey, the stock just dropped 3 points. Stay home today. We're trying to cut some. No, they don't do that at all. As a matter of fact, I worked for one of those big corporations once. I think it was Halliday Lithograph. They used to make books. Okay. And as the stock was tanking, they never said anything to us. We just came and we did our work and then we went home. We came in, we did our work, we went home. So the stock price really has anything to do with the company. What you really want to look at when you're looking at buying a company is all the numbers that aren't here. What's the book value? What's the revenue? What's the profits? What's the cash flow? You know, those things. What's the book value? I said book value already. All right. So anyway, Google's, Macy's, Dover. What else? We're gonna get there. Univision, Google, Macy's, Dover. What else? It's a whole bunch of them. ASML. Say, Rayanne Gamer. We already looked at ASML. Okay, stocks only for the rich. You do realize, see, the funny thing is, I love hearing about that. I do, seriously. Stocks are only for the rich. Well, I hate to be their bearer of bad news. I really do. But if you make, see, this number I checked a few years ago. If you make 34, listen closely, $34,000 or more, you are already richer than 50% of the planet. The planet. 34,000 a year is the planet. You're richer than 50% of the people on the planet. Okay? If you make over $100,000 a year, you're in the top 1% of the planet. Yeah, we are rich here. If you're in the United States, compared to some people, you are already rich. Just because you were born here. I've never heard, well, very rarely have I ever heard of somebody risking their lives trying to break into China or trying to break into Russia or trying to get into some country that, like, I don't know, one of those countries that they're. James Schmidt, how you doing today? Thinking of Intel. I like Intel. We're going to take a look at Intel in a minute. So, yeah. So, no, it's not for the rich. It's for the average, everyday person. It's like one of the few places you can go to help you actually make money. OUST, please. OUST. Ouster Inc. No. Here's the top. Here's your bottom. It shoots up. It drops. If you like it, give it a little bit of time before she shows up again. Down, up, down. She's dropping. She was at 25. Now we're at 1660. All right, all right. One most important in chips. Thank you. Yeah, if I was used, I would ignore me also. I have no idea what that means. If I was you, I would ignore me also. Okay, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but all right. And no, stocks aren't only for the rich. It's a game. Yes, it is a game, but it's not for just the rich. Rich, thank you for your insight. I don't see two strikes out makes sense. Thank you there, Richard. AV, please. AV. Aero Environment Inc. No again. Here's your top, 425. Here's your bottom at 100. Wow, look at that. 100 up to 425, back down to 176. It's just dropping. It's like you're batting 1,000. Every one you suggested so far is a no. We've only had like 2 yeses so far. Lloyd, how you doing? Kim, CVS. Ooh, check that out. The top, the bottom, where was it? Where is it? Down, up, down, up. Okay, what's going on there? Has CVS turned around? Well, down, up, down, up. Okay, not quite there yet because today's the new bottom. Whew. Oh, that's a good question. RN 6400. Which dividend stocks would you recommend, assuming US dollar debasement coming? Okay, so here's an idea. See, this is the part that I'm talking about. Some people don't do any research. Now, just because the dollar is going to be eliminated and go bye-bye doesn't mean the world's going to end. Did it happen in Zimbabwe? Yeah. Did the company fold up and everybody just fall off the face of the earth? No. Did it happen in Germany? Yep. Did everybody fall off the face of the earth? No. They turned around and started making some good shit. They did. You can look over and over again. When someone's economy collapses, they always come back out of it. What happens? People still go to work. Yeah, it's going to be a little uncomfortable for a bit, but take a look at it this way. Wouldn't it make sense, if you believe that that's what's happening, to buy companies that have already gone through this before? This is not the first time we lost our money. This is not the first dollar that we've ever had. This is like what, the third, fourth, or fifth currency that we've had. So Dennis Hopper, absolutely. Dennis Hopper drove a Harley too. So think about it this way. What has existed for over 100 years and still going strong? There's literally hundreds of companies that have been in business and still going strong. Consolidated Edison, over 200 years old. Coca-Cola, 140 years old. Pepsi, over 100 years old. Ford, over 100. Harley Davidson, over 100. Wells Fargo, over 100. Colgate Palmolive, over 100. KHC, Kraft Heinz, over 100. There's literally dozens and dozens of companies. No, Tesla's not over 100 years old, but Tesla is one of those companies that just ain't going anywhere because that boy is playing a total different game. Total different game. Okay? Book value, cash flow. What are the other elements to look for? Revenue per share, profit year over year, stuff like that. Okay, Renee or Rayanne, we already looked at AVAB. I was a no. Now, BM004, Tesla, TSLA. Now, I have to come up with some type of strategy to stop buying Tesla. There ain't no way to get around it. All right, the top 500, the bottom 220, shoots up, pulls back. If you like Tesla, give it a little bit. Say, look, down, up, 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 down. Where do you think it's going to go next? It's going to go back up again, but you have to wait. Len, what should I do when my stocks are down and I can't get a good covered call position? Now, Len, I knew someone was going to ask this question, and I'm going to show you something, and you're going to say, holy shit. You ready for that holy shit moment? Here it comes. Here it comes, Len, that holy shit moment. Because I knew someone was going to ask this because somebody asked me a couple of days ago. I said, you know what? I'm going to write it down. All right. Now, I'm going to zoom in a little bit tighter, Len, so you can see it better. All right. See that, Len? That's Macy's. I am down on Macy's 19%. Okay? So I got 1,700 shares at 22.01. Okay? 1,700 shares at 22.01. This week, I sold the 18 calls. Okay, I did the 18 calls this week, got 20 cents per share. Now, 20 cents per share on a $22 stock, it's not quite 1%, but it did give me $340, just that one position. That's just that one position. Hold on. So what else do I have? I have Kohl's. It's down 20%. I got 4,000. There we go. Okay, 4,000 shares at 1567. So this week I sold the 13 calls, which is less than what I paid for it. And the 13 calls paid 16 cents a share, which is more than 1% of my 15. And that brought me in 640 on that position. Next position, what do we have? Oh, Hertz. Hertz, HTZ. Okay, HTZ. HTZ. I am down 11.9% on Hertz. Now, I got 17,000 shares at $5.11. Okay, so this week I sold the 450 calls for 16 cents a share, and I picked up $2,700. Now, all that $2,700 is not going to be mine because I am going to have to roll it, and I will lose some of that when I do roll it. So I'm not going to get that one because I know that. Because right now, it's at a little bit unbalanced because it's above 4, and I sold the 450s. Fine. Hold on. A couple more. You ready? Here we go. SMR. Down 21.56%. Okay. I got 2,600 shares at 13.12. I'm down over 20%. So this week I sold the 11 calls this week, picked up 16 cents a share for $416. Okay? Last one. IONQ. I am down 29.65% on IONQ. Okay, I got 2,500 shares at 37.67. Sorry, yeah, 37.67. And I sold this week's 28, $9 less than what I paid for it. And I picked up 47 cents a share for 1,175. So if you add those four up, 1175, 416, that's 1584, 1581, 1517, wait a minute, 15, 30, 43, 44, 4401, 44, 45, 41, and 45, 45, 41, 45, 45, 48, 81. So on my $100,000 account, I brought in $4,500 just this week. That is 4.5%, even though almost everything I have is down about 20%. Everything I just showed you, 5 positions are down about 22% when you combine them all together. So yeah, my portfolio in this particular account is down 22%, but I brought in 4,500 so far this week. Now, I'm not going to keep all 4,500 because I am going to need to roll those into next week. But 4,500 on a $100,000 account, that's over 4.5% for 1 week. So even if I lose half of it because I got to roll it forward, that's still over 2% for the week. So I understand stocks go up, stocks go down, stocks go up, stocks go down. 5 simple rules. Rule 1, never buy something you do not want to hold on to. Okay, if it doesn't make sense, you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. Rule number 2, Nesamika, hell no. I'm going to answer that question in 1 second. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. I have no intention whatsoever. I don't even know if you can see that. I have no intention whatsoever selling any one of those at a loss. Just ain't going to happen. Number 3, make sure the company's consistently profitable. Doesn't make any sense otherwise. Rule 4, weekly options only. I want weekly cash flow. So it just makes sense. Hold on. I'm going to get to some of these questions. Okay. And rule 5, make sure all the numbers work. Not just the numbers, what you're buying and what you're selling. What happens when it drops? Is there still money going to be available to you? Certain companies I just won't do because the premiums aren't good far out. So, that being said, Len, always, always, always make sure the numbers work. What am I buying? What am I selling? What am I collecting? Are there actually decent premiums further out in case it drops? Now, in case it drops, okay, now I got to sell 4 strikes out of the money. So if I'm in at 355, 4 strikes out of the money, I'm still picking up 178. Now, granted, 178 is 0.5% of the 355. I'm okay with 0.5% because 0.5% every single week is still over 26% by the end of the year. So hopefully that makes sense, Len. Rayanne, we looked at Tesla already. Okay, Nesamika. Then what's good to invest in? Thanks for giving your advice, being sweet. Nessa, I'm going to give you my opinion on gold and silver because you asked. Okay. Now, gold and silver, I have both of them. Now, it's not an investment. It's a storage of wealth. That's like this cup here is not an investment. It's a storage of my tea. That's all. It goes up as the value. That's it. It does not give any cash flow at all. Okay, I have gold and silver. It sits there, collects dust, does nothing else. There's no income for it whatsoever. Procter & Gamble, interesting. Give it a couple of more days, sell around 144. Okay. Now, I'm not 100% sure. Procter & Gamble, let's take a look. Here's the top, 175. Here's the bottom, 137. She drops, shoots up, pulls back, and back up again. So from here to there, back up. Let's zoom into that. 30-day high, 168. 30-day bottom, 142. Okay, went sideways for 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now she's going back up. Okay, so the 144 is going for 184. Let's take a look at those numbers. I like this one. This one looks good. Let's get rid of this. Covered call, 144. Right there, one contract. Here's the numbers. Are you ready? By one, yep, Procter & Gamble. Exactly, PG, Procter & Gamble. By one covered call, Procter & Gamble, 2 April 26th. That's this coming Thursday. We got 3 days left. The 144 call option, the profit's 125, the investment's 14,000. Let's break out that calculator and see if those numbers work. 125 divide $14,275. That gives me a rate of that can't be right. Let's try that one again. That can't be right at all. Okay, the profit, 125. We're going to divide it by the investment. 14,275. That makes more sense, and it's going to be a no. Reason why it's going to be a no, we got 3 days left. It's only paying 0.8, not quite 1%. All right. Well, there's only 3 days left, so let's take a look at doing it for next week. Not the 2nd of April, but the 10th of April. Let's edit this. And let's change this from 2 April to 10 April. Let's do that. Here's the number. Changes a little bit. One covered call, Procter & Gamble. 10 April. That's not this Thursday. That's next Friday. All right. The 144 call option. So the profit, 225. The investment, 14,000. Same number. It's the same amount of shares. Okay, so profit this time, 225, and the investment still the same, 14,175, and that comes to a grand total of 1.6%. That works. All right, so let's save Procter & Gamble. This will be number 3 for the night. We do 5 every night. We got 2 more to come up with. Where are you? There it is. Procter & Gamble. 10 April. 144 call option. 225 is the profit. 14,000 is the investment for a 1.6% for a week and a half. 1.6. Next, we got 2 more to go. EPD. Thy kingdom. A son, a kingdom for my son. Yep. All right, single. All right, EPD, thy kingdom. EPD, there we go. Hell no. I don't know what you were thinking, dude. I don't buy anything at the high of the year. That, to me, makes no sense at all. When it shoots up, thank you, Rayanne. Nessa Mike, wouldn't it be safer to invest in gold and silver? No. Gold and silver do not give you a weekly rate of return. Wouldn't do you any good. Well, wouldn't do me any good. Tesla won't be going south. Any prediction? Wait a second. TSLA. See, I'm terribly sorry. I'm going to disagree with you because Tesla was at 500 back in January. Now we're at 355. It's going to keep going down until it's done. That's just it. Len, if I do a covered call less than what I paid for it, and if it's going to get hit, I just roll it. Exactly. Okay, now, Len, I look at my positions every single day, and I ask myself 5 very simple questions. What did I buy? What did I sell? Where's it at now? Where does it look like it's going? And what should I do next? Richard, can you explain rolling up? Uh-oh. All right, Richard, this is what's called a rolling order right here. Okay, a rolling order, which means I would buy back this one here, which says 2 April, and then I would sell 10 April. The strike price is the same. The premium, what I'm going to collect, is going to be higher or lower. Okay, I can adjust this for what I want, either a limit order, a stop limit, a market order, limit order, stop limit, trailing stop with a limit, walking limit, blah, blah, blah. A lot of things I can do. Now, I can come over here and change the strike prices. Okay, I can change it to 7, 750, 8, 850, 9, 950. I can even go backwards and change it to 350, 4, 455. I can change it to whatever I want. I can push it out to wherever I want. If I don't want to do next week, I can push it out to 17 April, 24 April, 1 May, 8 May, 15 May, 18. I can do whatever I want once I'm in the position. Once I own the stocks, it is mine to do it as I please. Okay? So, Richard, rolling up and out, you're just buying back whatever position you sold and then picking another position to sell. So I can do next week, which is 10 April. I can keep the strike prices the exact same, or I can change them, and then I can ask for whatever I feel like it. Right now, this is what the market maker is offering. The bid and the mid, whatever. So I have plenty of opportunities to make new trades. And Richard, that's the main reason why people join the morning trading group, because they want to be, they want their hands held as they're learning. It's not that bad of a deal if you think about it. You get to see everything that I'm doing, and then I look over your shoulder and see what you're doing, and then I say, Richard, what the hell are you thinking? And then I give you opportunities to take a look at different perspectives. Univision, if the price of gold goes up, you can sell and make money. So there is cash flow. No, there isn't. Okay, let me give you a perfect example. Okay, I have gold in the other room or somewhere. I have silver somewhere. Not once have I ever gotten any weekly cash flow from the silver and the gold that I have. And selling it, well, that doesn't work for me because it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. There's no way of doing it. Thanks for the advice on gold and silver. Is there any stock to eye with the war on Iran? Well, you can look at the basics, okay? Toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap, shampoo, dishwashing liquid, trash bags, windshield wiper blades, anything that people use on a consistent basis, regardless of what's going on. Len, how come you have shares in SMR even though it hasn't been around 100 years and it doesn't pay a dividend? Because rules are made to be broken, Len, and I don't really remember why I got SMR. Okay? Maybe it was an investor who told me to jump into it. I don't know. DVN. Okay, let's take a look at DVN. Let's get out of there. Let's go to DVN. Ooh, that's going to be a big fat no. I don't buy anything at the high of the year. Sorry. EY, Disney, DIS. Now, if I remember correctly, I think Disney has a annual dividend, which means they pay once a year. Okay, here's the top 125, the bottom's at 80, shoots up, pulls back, back up, back down. What's going on there? Has Disney found the new bottom? Maybe, because today we have a higher high and a higher low than we did yesterday. So this could be a possibility for Wednesday. Because, you know, I like 2 days to the upside, and on the third day I jump in. Hey, Blue 420, work got me earning my money tonight. Oh, nice to go. You should be thankful that you have a job. Some people don't. What else do we have over here? Thank you there, Mr. Richard. Glad makes sense. Rayanne, thank you. Terry, James, if you do roll up your position up and out, but then you make, say, 50 to 60%, can you buy it out and close it out? Absolutely. See, Terry, anytime you own a stock and you sell an option against it, you always have the ability to buy back that option before whoever owns that option exercises it. Okay, so I sell options. Very rarely will I buy them back because I'm looking for cash flow. I'm looking for something that might be a little bit differently than you are. Okay, I'm looking for that safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Now I'm retired, so I don't take the same risks as some of you younger folks do. All right, what else we have over here? Cam, different kind of question. Is your book number 2 the start of weekly covered calls? No, book number 2 will be called Dividends on Steroids. Okay, my very first book was Dividend Capturing. It's a simple, easy book. You buy it just before the EX date, capture the dividend, get out, move on to another company. Well, Dividends on Steroids is buying the stock before the EX date and selling it at 2.015% over and above what we paid for it. There's numbers that we've worked on over the past 15 years of what number works best. I think it was 1.025, I think it was. Club Med Tom. Hello, team. What were the first 2 stocks? We're going to get to that in a minute. Zach, CAG. We looked at Conagra Brand last night, CAG. Okay. Look at that bounce. Doesn't that look lovely? A year ago, we're at 29. We dropped, bounced back up, back down again. Look at that area right there, 1573. That looks exciting. Who came up with that one? Zach, nice pick. Let's check this out. Here's your last 30 days. 1950 drops down to 15. 1, 2, 3. There they are right there. You want 3 days up? There's your bottom last Wednesday. Thursday higher, Friday higher, today higher. 1, 2, 3 right there. 1573. I do the 1550s at 55. Let's see what that looks like. Let's get rid of this. Let's go to covered calls. The 1550, there it is. One contract. That way you guys can figure out, should I do 1? Should I do 15? Should I do 33? Let's look at Conagra. Here we go. 1 covered call, Conagra, 2 April. That's this coming Friday. The 1550 call option. I'm actually buying at 1573, selling at 1550, which is less than what I paid for it. Why do I do that? Because it's a safer trade. I like safety over profitability. I know some of you just don't get that, and that's perfectly okay. I prefer safety over profitability. Terry, we'll take a look at that in a minute. Sit tight. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at the numbers. 42, 1500. What say you, Mr. Calculator? clear. 42 is the profit. The investment, 1508, comes to a grand total of 2.7. Imagine that, 2.7 for Conagra. If you like this company, and it's always going to come to that. Do I like this company or not? It's either going to be a yes or it's going to be a no. Either I like the company, I'm willing to put my money on the line. Holy shit, it's 11 o'clock already. That means it's time to go. But we got one more to come up with. One more, make it quick, guys. Let's do this. We're going to go a lot quicker because I want that 5. Conagra, 2 April, 1550, 42, 1500. What was it called? It was 2 point what? 2.7. 2.7. Nice. We got one more to go. What do we got? Come on. What do we got? 86 is in the house. Hey, James, I like the fertilizer story. Let's sell MOS, Mosaic. Covered 25 call, probably Monday. Let's check it out. I said MOS, a G with a double E. We go Mosaic. Ooh, what's that? The high, the low. Where was it? Where is it? Up, down, up, down, up. At 25. The 25 is going for 59. Hell yeah. Let's do this one. Who came up with that one? User 22554412855522. What were your parents thinking when they named you that? Seriously, how do you avoid assignment if the stock goes up during the week? All right, Phil, I'm going to address that in a second. Look at the last 30 days here. Okay, the high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Down, up, down, up. Okay, 25, there it is. Let's check this out. That'd be a quick one, wasn't it? The 25, there we go. One contract. There we go. Here's Johnny by one covered call, Mosaic, 2 April. That's this coming Thursday. The $25 call option, 61 is the profit, 2,400 is the investment. Calculator, come out, wherever you are. Here we go. 61 is the profit. The investment, 2,439. Grand total of 2.5. How can you go wrong at 2.5 for 1 week? Misty's going to be a no. Jose, check the numbers. You're not going to be happy. Okay? How do you pronounce that? Zonolod? Abelmal? All right, James, if you roll up the position, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yep, got that one. Okay, Terry DraftKings will take a look at tomorrow. EPD tomorrow. Misty's going to be a hell no. Joe, I'm dead serious here, dude. Find a financial website. Seriously. Find a financial website. Look at the data. How consistently profitable has MSTY been since its opening? Okay? Mosaic, 2.5. This is the last one of the evening. And we're going to call it a day. 2.5. We're already past 11 o'clock. I'm getting ready to turn into a pumpkin. Not a pretty picture. Where are you? There it is. Here's Johnny. You ready? Mosaic. 2 April. That's this coming Thursday. $25 call option. 61 is the profit. 2,400 is the investment for a 2.5% for 1 week. Actually, it's just 3 days. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's it. We got 3 days left and 2.5%. Now, I'm okay with 2.5% every week because I'm not looking to strike it rich. I'm only looking for consistency of profitability. That's it. Just 1% every week. And I'm okay with 1%. What do you use? Roy, I'm not quite sure what that means. What do you use? Okay. So, what do we got? Best Buy, Colgate-Palmolive, Procter & Gamble, Conagra, Mosaic, that's the 5 for the night. That being said, let's get some jamming tunes and we can be out of here. All right. Phil, how do you avoid assignment? Keep a look at it every day. Now, Phil, also, what do you use for data? Roy, I use Yahoo Finance. Okay, you can use Google Finance. You can use Wall Street Journal. You can use the Business Daily, something, whatever that is. Okay, so Phil, I look at my stocks every day, twice a day. Okay, very first thing in the morning before the market opens. What did I buy? What did I sell? Where's it at? Where's it going? What should I do? That's what I ask every single day. It takes 5 minutes to 10 minutes. That's it. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. Analyze stock, blah, 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 GB. Okay, Miguel, take a look at that tomorrow. No, I don't do crypto. Club Med Tom, hello, team. Yep, we just did that, Tom. Been on James' group and fantastic. Not like other gurus. Thank you. I'm not quite sure what that means, Alex, but okay. Miguel, ULTY, look at it tomorrow. I don't do that. All right. Yahoo Finance charges. No, it doesn't. If you look at, all right. So, Roy, if you're looking for real-time data, yeah, they probably do. I'm not looking for real-time data. Give us the list of the day again. Okay, Univision, it's not a list of the day. It's just stocks that you guys came up with, and I just happen to punch in the numbers. You ready? Best Buy, Colgate-Palmolive, Procter & Gamble, Conagra, and Mosaic. That being said, you guys have a great day. What do we have down here? Green Dog. I just throw anything to VTI. Why? Green Dog, why would you put it into VTI? VTI. Let's take a look. How profitable is VTI? VTI, oh, look at this. VTI goes all the way back to 2006. So it does have 20 years. Okay. Well, let's see. Does it go up? Okay. 26, 35, 30, 28. Hold on. If it was 26, went to 35, then it went down to 28. Wait a minute, it went up, then it went down? That doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? Okay, hold on. Okay, 31, 31, 29. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Okay, higher, lower, higher, higher, lower, higher, lower, higher, lower, lower, higher, higher, lower, higher, 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 lower, higher, 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 lower, lower, higher, higher, lower, lower, higher, higher, lower, lower, higher, higher, lower, higher, 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 lower, higher, higher, lower, higher, 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 lower, higher, lower, higher, lower, higher, lower, higher, higher, lower, lower, higher. Okay, that's like, it's not a 50-50, but she goes down more often than it makes me comfortable. So no, I don't do VTI, and it just doesn't make sense. And does VTI have options? Let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. And VTI. Oh, hell no. Okay, I don't do monthlies. No, no, hell no. Numbers just don't work. Sorry. ULTY Miguel, hell no. All right, down here. Sorry, Green Dog, those numbers just don't look good. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. No consistency whatsoever. And it's a monthly. I don't do monthlies. NLP, I think 1% predicted return is better. Thank you, King Solomon. Hey, Com, how you doing? Lord Patrick, how you doing, Lord Patrick? SQQ is short for the Qs. Yeah, see, I know what an index fund is. I do. What do I mean monthly? Roy, what do I mean monthly? Roy, come on. You really can't be that oblivious. Seriously. April, May, June, September, January, March, December. Those are months of the year. Everybody knows that. Even a third grader would know those are months of the year. Okay? 2 April, that's this week. 10 April, that's next week. 17 April, that's 2 weeks away. 24 April, 3 weeks away. 4 weeks away. 5 weeks away. That's called weekly. Weekly options, monthly options. You know that. If you know that, why are you asking? Okay, what else do we got? Kissable, good evening to you. Rover, so are we looking for increase in dividends in 20-year span? Absolutely. Rover, you don't have to do it. Somebody's already done it for you. Okay, Dividend Kings, 5 decades of increased profits. Dividend Aristocrats, 25 years increased profits. Dividend Champions, 25 years increased profits. Roy, you don't do monthly options? No. No, number one, you do it once a month. So what am I getting? 12 to 24% a year? Yeah, no thanks. I prefer weekly. That's 50 to 100% a year. Big difference. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm new. Okay, Rover, welcome. Matt, hey, James, hope all is well. I am starting to get the hang of it since we met. All righty, Matt, thank you. Yes, I agree. Thank you there, Mr. Roy. Fat Cat Jackie, why don't you mirror your camera? Everything looks straight to us and not upside down. It's in your camera settings. Yeah, you know what? I hear that every single day. Seriously, I do. Why don't you fix your camera? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Well, here's the thing. YouTube and the selfie camera on an iPhone really don't work that way. But on a broadcaster such as OBS broadcaster, which is the camera down here, you got to remember, I got 9 different cameras. You're on one that just so happens to be backwards because there's no way of turning it around that I know of. But if you know of a way, and no, it's not in the settings. Okay. If you go to my website if you go to my YouTube channel, you will see that I have 1,800 videos, and no, they are not AI generated. Okay, they go all the way back to 2011. So I've been standing in front of the camera for, what was that, 15, 16, 17 years? Okay, and if there was a way to invert the camera, I would have done it a long time ago. Good to hear you're on the path to success. Thank you, Dev. Might be a rerun. It might be. Fat Cat Jackie YouTube app doesn't allow it. Thank you. There's another stream that just shows the chart. Absolutely. Kissable, James, please remind me if the stock is at the week's high, but also bouncing off the bottom, going up in the third day, that's great. Or is it supposed to be bouncing off the week and month's bottom? It's always going to be an individual scenario because they're all different. How do you feel about oil right now? CVX, we looked at it, it was a no yesterday. Okay. And there's too much, what do you call it? Too much turmoil, if that makes sense. Bulldog, MPLX, we can check it out tomorrow. Boot 67, hell no, thank you, Rover. 52 a year, yep, Matt, gotta love it. King Solomon. What is the minimum amount to start with? There is no minimum. I mean, my grandson's starting out with $50, but he's only 6. Enough to buy 100 shares of stock if you want to use that strategy. Rover, hell no. Hell yes. QQQI, hell no. What you doing? Hey, Soggy Bubble. SoFi, hell no. Bag holder spotted. Thank you. Are you a physics professor? No. You should be all in on RDDT if you want some money. Why would I do RDDT? RDDT. Try it one more time. RDDT. Is that Reddit? It is. Okay, now I have no idea what the hell you're thinking. The high for Reddit is at 280. We're now sitting at 170. Sorry. Hell no. Scared money don't make money. Absolutely right. King Solomon, what time frame should we use? I use 4 different time frames. I use the 1 year, I use the 90-day, I use the 30-day, and I use the seasonality. Richard, hell no to the QQQI. It's not consistently profitable. Extreme Deep Invader. Thank you there, Extreme. Cause and Astra, what's happening? Roy, you bought Chevron and Exxon Mobil. CVX. What the hell were you thinking? I shit you not, brother. Roy, do you see this? It's at the high of the year. Okay, you do you. You do whatever you think. ExxonMobil. Another one. Yep, I don't buy anything at the high. Sorry. No. Rich, no to the Qs. Dev, Soggy Bubble, when you sell a call while owning the corresponding shares as collateral. Thank you. QQQ is a covered call index fund. Yeah, I know what it is. And I also know that QQQI is not consistently profitable. Or should I say the profits they hand out are not consistently increasing? Is there like a document, a PDF to see your setup? Or is this the only YouTube? Well, you can go to my website. There's a lot of material there for sale. Now, I try not to sell anything while I'm live. Seriously, I don't. Very rarely will you hear me saying, "Hey, I got this new thing. You got to buy it." No, I don't do that. Now, we're all adults. We know how it works. I've written 15 books, and yeah, I think they are day traders. Okay, JPB Web. All right. Call option for a month. Yeah, no thanks you for a month. ExxonMobil on in CVX. All right, I don't buy call options. I'm an option seller. Thank you, Deb. Yes, there is a website, a whole bunch of stuff there. It should be right in the bio. Okay, The10MinuteTrader. Thank you, Dev. Yeah, .com. Thank you. I used to show his trades. Yes, they're on the other website that I told my son I like the other setup better. My son says, "Nope, this is new. This is modern." I said, "Okay." I'm an old folks. I don't do that kind of stuff. I can't find them right now. I'll have to tell Jacob. Need to join the VIP Patreon level to see his actual trades live. Yes, I do trade 3 accounts live. Seriously, live. You can actually watch as I trade every morning, 3 accounts live, and you can ask any questions you want. Schedule a call. He may have some solutions for you. Yeah, on the calls, I don't try to sell anything. So just DM me your number and I'll give you a buzz. Hey, Matt, I've met him. He's the best. I'm already joined. Okay. Thank you there, Matt. Was replying to you and Michael Convo. Okay, thank you there, Matt. Okay, amen, brother. Is this weekly time frame? Yeah. What do you think weekly trading is all about? Weekly time frame. What do you mean about Tesla? That's going to be a long conversation. So we'll come back again. We'll do another one. What's the surest way to become a millionaire by 35? Start out with $1 billion. Now we can chat about that if you have any more questions. How often do people actually buy the shares away from your covered calls? You have a shit ton of shares. Respect is always learning from you. Okay, so Mike, very rarely do people take my shares away from me because I look at a lot of different moving items. Okay, so here, as you see, the stock goes up. Okay, when you buy a stock and you sell an option against it, if the stock jumps up, it doesn't make any sense to hold on to it any longer because it doesn't make money consistently. So when a stock jumps like this, you're actually paying money to keep up with it. It's better off just to let it go. There's 10,000 different companies. Should I withdraw? Okay, Roy, I don't give advice whatsoever, either one way or the other. I don't, because I have no idea what you're looking for. I have no idea what your risk factors are. Annie, I see you. Thank you for that, Annie. Other than that, just keep showing up. Keep asking questions. All right, this one didn't work out at all today, did it? How often? All right, we did that one. Not often at all. They usually take your shares when the strike price, if the stock price is above. Let's look at excellent. Yep. Chief, we'll take a look at Carnival Cruise Line tomorrow. Costco, we'll take a look at it tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow. No sound, can't hear you. That's because I wasn't saying anything. Check your audio. I'm still able to hear you. Okay, thank you, dear Dev. All right, so you guys have a great night. We'll do this all over again tomorrow. Here's my theme song. Got to get it louder. And start it over again. Have a nice night, everyone. I'm gonna give it. Soul. It's a broken That's a no, what the hell were you thinking? Your life is beyond keeps the daylight blinking.